What's up, guys? Cassandra Carson here from Paralandra and the Life Project, and you're listening to the Weekly Pour podcast.
Hola, amigos. This is Billy Sheehan. You're listening to me right here and watching on the Weekly Pour podcast. Thank you.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher. You're listening to the Weekly Pour podcast with TbT and Ace.
I'm Logan, right?
Yes.
That's how all right, I'll go now. What's up, everybody? It's Logan from All the Pretty Things, and you're listening to TBT and Ace on the Weekly Pour podcast.
Hey, guys, this is John Karabi from, well, just about every band but ABBA, and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Turn it up.
Hey, guys, it's Leva Leone, and you're listening to the Weekly Pour. Great metalheads, crazy music, because we all bleed metal. Ciao.
Yo, guys, it's Mark McKay here, and you're listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Crank it up.
My name's Reggie, and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad. It's a blessing to teach you a lesson at the Weekly Pour with TBT and Ace.
The most amazing things that can happen to a human being will happen to you if you lower your expectations. Welcome to the Weekly Pour podcast. Here are your hosts, TBT and Ace.
Oh, it's us. Well, it's me.
It's you.
It's a good picture. We'll get to that later. Hey, what's up?
I got no pictures.
I am TBT. That guy over there is Ace. Welcome to the Weekly Pour podcast, episode 66. Here we are. It's been a couple weeks. No more train wrecks. Trains back on the tracks.
Yes,
you're back from the. We're not even gonna touch it. We're not gonna talk about it. Nothing. All we can say is we're back on the rails, like a crazy train, and here we are. Welcome everybody that's in the chat. Quite a few in there already. Shannon, Natalie, of course, our lovely moderator. Pauline's in there, Lou's in there. There's some more that are stalking, but hey, if you guys are in the chat, make sure you say hey, ask a question, give us your comments, whatever, thumbs downs. I don't care. No, not really. You guys are in there. Hit that thumbs up. There's a few of you that haven't. Get to it. Speaking of getting to it, we got to get to it. It's been like 2 weeks.
It feels like it's been forever, but it was a much needed break in the sense. Well, the train wreck we had.
Did you just say train wreck?
Train wreck. The train wreck we had.
Yes.
As well as the stresses of working as many jobs as I do. I needed a break.
Right. Exactly. And you took a break, and you ended up in the Great White North.
I was in Canada briefly, if you're referring to that. I was in Quebec.
Yeah.
Briefly.
Canada.
Most of the time spent in upstate and central New York. We took a brief vacation to Lake Placid, me, the wife, and our friend Kathy from Music and More Records.
Oh.
Celebrating her birthday.
She doesn't look a day over 26.
She'll appreciate that.
As she should. And she's not even jumping in the chat right now, but that's okay.
Well, she would just be closing up shop, so might see her in a minute.
Good.
But yeah, so that was a good trip. Cleaned the turtle.
Oh, and we got photos.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I had initially talked to you about recording that.
Yeah.
But when we talked about it, it was getting very late. We were very tired and not in the mood to clean a damn turtle at 9.
That would have been even more of a reason to record it.
It would have been awful. So just did it the next day. Took some nice photos. The turtle is happy. The turtle is clean. All is well with the turtle.
All's well in Turtle Land.
Right. So we got that out of the way. That was right before I left.
You also, I know you hit a concert, which we'll get into here shortly, but this was what? You were up there for a week at least?
Right. I was there exactly a week, 7 days.
Okay, good deal. And spent the time with Kathy, and I know your family went, so it was a good time. We're glad to have you
The
back
wife,
down.
the
Yeah.
wife went. We left the family at home.
Oh well, I only count her anyway. We don't count anybody else.
So, what do you mean?
You can't. It's not allowed. You're not allowed to count anybody else once the kids have left the house. You can't count them.
I've got one still here
But is she really though?
every weekend.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah. So good time. You've made it back. And was the show you went to, was that a birthday present for Kathy?
Right,
Excellent. And you
right.
saw Duran Duran, Pet Shop Boys, and Culture Club, correct?
That would be awesome.
Actually, it kind of would, but
But
that's not
no,
who you saw.
no. Spiritbox, Papa Roach, Shinedown.
Nice.
So that was in Syracuse at their outdoor amphitheater, similar to ours here, Deer Creek,
Right.
as I refer to it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it was. Let me tell you a little bit of this ordeal. We are all advancing in age, and so not just Kathy went, but myself, Kathy, and a friend of hers who's a big Shinedown fan. And so I paid for VIP parking. I've never paid for parking, but I was thinking, well, this person's knee and this person's back, and maybe we'll alleviate some of that problem by getting closer to the entrance. I don't know how this is set up. I know nothing about this venue, right? So we park, and our parking spot is right at the gate that you walk in to get admittance into actually the area, not the actual theater, but the area, the amphitheater. But the line was probably literally a mile long. They had not opened the gates yet, and we weren't crazy early. It was 6 p.m. when we arrived. The show was at 6:30.
So they should
Gate
have
was
already
not
had
open.
those doors open.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
So we get out of the car. The entrance is right there. We walk in, and holy hell, we have to walk all the way to the end of that line, and then obviously wait. And we're passing people that are tailgating and jamming and drinking and having a good time. And then we get to the checkpoints, check your bags, they scan you, all that good stuff. Well, then you got to take a hike. You got to take a hike through some nice mowed lawn. It's rolling hills, all this pretty stuff. But no one's back was any better for the $65 I paid for parking.
Wow.
No, it didn't help anything that like we thought it would. So I mean, we were closer to the entrance, right up front,
Right.
but it didn't help anyone at all. I mean, if I was trying to alleviate any back pain, knee pain, or anything else, I probably didn't do that.
So epic fail on your part. At least you tried.
I did try. I found out that handicap parking is actually closer.
Okay.
But I didn't know where that would be or anything about it. But how much closer, I don't know. But I don't think it could have been because, I mean, you had to take a hike.
Well, Kathy has indicated that you got your steps, got in our steps and got out super fast.
We did get out super fast. That was the nice thing. So sometimes at these places, you'll spend an hour waiting on traffic and just biding your time. Oh, less than 10 minutes.
Wow.
Out on the interstate, heading home, less than 10 minutes.
No kidding.
Yeah, so that part was great. So then you enter into a large area that it looks like a circus. They've got all these, of course, they got the merch tent. They've got the food trailers all lined up. They got the venue down the hill. But in the distance, coming to it, it looked like a bit of a circus act. So get in the merch line, do that. Then we all get down to our seats. Now, I haven't eaten. I need to eat. I don't buy things at venues because of the expense.
So you're getting hangry.
But I am getting angry and hangry and all that. So I make sure we're all situated, and then I say, "Hey, I'll be back. I'm going to get something to eat." And that took the whole time Spiritbox was on, the whole time.
So you completely missed the open. Wait. Hang on. So you splurged for better parking,
Yes.
but you refused to splurge for a barbecue sandwich, some chips, and a drink at the venue.
No, I did, but I did.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you left the venue.
No, I went.
Oh,
I normally don't buy those things because of the expense,
okay.
but we didn't stop on the way. We didn't do anything like that. So I'm going to buy something there.
Okay.
I found one with the shortest line, and it still took the whole time that Spiritbox was on.
That is
It was the
insane.
best. It was the best food I'd eaten at a venue, and I don't know. I mean, ever. It was amazing.
See, and I thought what we had at the mill in Terre Haute was good.
That was pretty good. This was topped it.
Wow.
It was a pulled pork grilled cheese sandwich.
What?
Yes, seasoned pulled pork, like not in no sauce, just seasoned to perfection and grilled to perfection. With fries. It was amazing.
I have never seen you so excited about a grilled cheese
With pulled pork.
With pulled pork.
It was amazing.
And fries.
It was as big as my head.
What?
It was as big as my head.
That was rhetorical. What?
Oh, okay. I was just saying. So I sit down. I catch the end of Spiritbox. The singer, Courtney LaPointe, I believe, yeah, LaPlante, is bouncing around up on the stage, screaming her head off, sounding like Cookie Monster, and then she leaves. That was it.
Well, could you hear them while you were getting your food?
No, not really. Not really.
Wow. Kathy said she tried to get you to eat at the beginning.
Right, but I wanted things to be situated. I wanted her and her friend situated in their seats, ready to go, and then we didn't have to everyone wait on me.
Sure.
To be fair,
yeah,
to everyone, not just wait. Yeah, but that that was my thing. Just missed the entire. And because of Kathy, I kind of missed a little bit of Papa Roach.
Oh, you must have had to go get her something.
Well, I didn't have to. I didn't have to.
Okay.
So I'm eating this wonderful pulled pork sandwich in my seat. We've got really good seats. I was impressed with what I ended up with. But we're in the under the awning pavilion section. Really good seats. And Papa Roach comes on. Well, not everyone has filled that pavilion up yet. So I'm holding this giant sandwich and my fries, and Kathy slides out to the aisle, motions us all to come out to the aisle so we can see better. And we're watching Papa Roach while I'm eating this wonderful sandwich. And let me tell you something. If you can go see Papa Roach live, go see them, because it was amazing. I was blown away how good they were.
Wow.
And I'm not familiar with everything they've done, but I knew about half of what they did. Blew me away how good they were. Blew me away. They deserve a lot of credit for sounding as good as they sounded. Jacoby, the singer, amazing. And he, at one point, came out into the crowd. And
intentionally?
Yeah, he comes out into the crowd intentionally. They've got security with him. And he runs up the aisle. Well, he runs up the aisle where we are. We're right in the aisle. And high fives Kathy. So she's thrilled to death, right?
Sweet.
Guess who wasn't there to get his high five? I was not there when this happened. I was told about it when I got back from the merch stand, because somebody saw some people walk in with some really cool totes from the merch shop, we assume, and really wanted a tote. And I thought, well, I will go up there. I'll be a nice guy, and I'll see if they got totes. And yeah, they didn't have any totes. They had nothing like that. And I missed the high five.
And came back without a tote.
Correct.
Ah. Kathy said that that they stole the show.
They did. They really did. And I'll tell you about that as we move on. But they were very impressive. And the thing is, they are playing about 45 minutes, and they just hit you in the face. They just punch you in the face, rock stuff the whole time. They barely slowed down. I think they played one, what you might call a ballad, but didn't really slow down at all, right? So it was amazing. Now, I've seen Shinedown before. This time was better because it was a better setting. It was night. They had all the lighting advantages. You could see their set really well. They sounded spot on amazing. Brent Smith was amazing. But if he gets accused a lot of using tracks, if he was, I couldn't tell. He just sounded fantastic.
Wow.
The problem is, it's not really a problem, but it's a whole different vibe. Like, Brent Smith's a nice guy. He's been through a lot of stuff early on in his career, and he's super nice, and he wants you to feel good and leave that venue floating on air, happy, and you're feeling great. So instead of playing just every rocker that Shinedown has, they speed it up, slow it down, speed it up, and it's all over the place. So you're not really getting that metal vibe that they could bring you with some of the things they have.
Sure.
So it kind of was the polar opposite of what Papa Roach did, which was, like I said, pedal to the metal, punch in the face, heavy music. And that's why they were so good. And Shinedown played probably 5 songs too many. They played 22 songs, which is a lot. Yeah.
No kidding.
Well, and I'll tell you another part of this. I'm a nerd for this stuff, and I like to research what bands play, what their sets are, so that I know what might be coming. And a lot of these bands don't change things up a lot for various reasons. Well, I had seen where they were playing a set list that was very consistent. So I make a set list. I share it with Kathy so she gets familiar with what they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
We get there, they played none of that. They changed it all up. They changed everything.
So basically, Papa Roach just totally kicked her ass, or kicked ass, I should say. I mean, Shinedown would still be good. Did they do anything acoustic, or was it just straight up all plugged in?
They did the Jimmy Eat World song, The Middle. They did that acoustically. I don't know why they did it. This was the strange part. And maybe Kathy, I didn't ask her, but maybe she knew what was going on. But Brent Smith's not there. He's taking a break. And this is the guitar player and, maybe the bass player, somebody. But they're doing this acoustically. They're singing the song. They're doing it very slow. And it's pretty cool. And then they pick it up, and it sounds like what you hear on the radio. They pick it up. These other people come out on stage and start jamming. Other people. I don't know who they are. They don't tell us. I have no clue who they are.
Just random people showed up.
I was wondering if it was Jimmy Eat World, like, just showed up in Syracuse to play that one song. They never said. It could have been Papa Roach coming out. I don't know. It could have been Spiritbox. No one told me.
Did you research it?
No, I didn't. I just wanted to complain to you.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Somebody probably put something out there.
Kathy had no clue either, she says.
Yeah. But as Shannon points out, you apparently had a great sandwich, and that's what matters.
That is what, well, and I had a beer.
A full beer?
I don't want to pay what they want me to pay at these places. But when I went back to the merch stand to look for the bags that didn't exist, I said, heck with it. I'm going to have a beer. I'm pretty thirsty from all this walking.
Right.
Right. So I coughed up $15 for a giant beer. $15.
And the point of it was just pointed out by Kathy, and she said, and Kathy was super happy.
She was. She enjoyed the show. I enjoyed it. Even Kathy's not the biggest Shinedown fan in the sense that she doesn't know all their stuff, similarly to where I don't know all the Papa Roach stuff. But still, it was really good overall. If you put it all together, it was an amazing show, top to bottom. It's just a whole different vibe. I would hate to say that Papa Roach blew them off the stage, but if you think about it, they kind of blew them off the stage.
Wow.
Kind of.
How was your crowd?
Crowd was good. By the time Shinedown got out there, the crowd was raucous. They were really pumped for Papa Roach. And, I mean, we had people in front of us that were raising their hands and screaming and pumping fists and all kinds. They were in our way. They were kind of annoying. We kind of wanted to get mad at them.
Yeah, I want to. There's a point to me asking this, and we'll get into it when I start telling you about my recent concert adventure. But what was your median age, would you say, for your show?
Pretty young.
Okay.
Pretty young. I would say mid-30s.
Oh.
Yeah, mid-30s. Sadly, I was one of the older people.
Sure.
At that place.
Well, sadly, I was one of the younger ones at the one I went to.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll dive into that here shortly. The big thing is that Kathy had a good birthday. It was a great concert.
She feels bad about something I said. I'm not sure what she feels bad about, but don't feel bad.
What
it was all good.
What were their thoughts on Spiritbox? Since you didn't get to hear them. Now I know Kathy. She went on live on one of those social medias, and she was kind of broadcasting when Spiritbox was on, and I stopped and I watched it, and I loved it. It's one of those things that I like. Not everybody likes it.
She told me basically it was all right, and she was cute, meaning the singer.
Yes,
that was the assessment.
Agreed.
And I mean, matter of fact, I wouldn't mind having her on just to tell her about how I missed her concert.
And then let's work on that.
We could work on that. But I know nothing about them, so I'd have to research.
Yeah. Kathy, did you like them? See how long it takes for her to reply, with a delay.
Right.
She did say not true. There was an old man sitting next to her friend that was probably 60.
Well, and when we had moved to the aisle, that guy took our seat.
That was security.
Yeah, he took our seat. So I had to go rough him up. I had to rough him up and get him out of there.
You had to rough up the 60-year-old? You should be ashamed.
He wouldn't move. Well, I mean, the fact that he couldn't get up out of the chair was irrelevant to me.
What?
No, actually, he was very nice, and he moved 2 seats over, which I think was his actual seat. I don't know why he wanted mine, but
because you kept it warm,
I guess.
Yeah,
but yeah, the place was pretty pumped by the middle of Shinedown and throughout. I mean, Papa Roach and throughout Shinedown, they were a good crowd, and it was pretty full. I don't think it was capacity, but it was pretty full.
How was the crowd around the merch area during Spiritbox?
I was in the food line.
Oh, I'm sorry, food line for the wonderful sandwich.
Well, there were several food trucks, and those lines were long. So there was a lot of people getting food during Spiritbox. So they didn't get the whole experience of the concert, and Spiritbox didn't get the whole crowd because there was probably 200 people getting food, I would say, or merch.
It's a lot of sandwiches.
Yeah, thank God they had one when I got there.
Yeah, no, because you would not have enjoyed it had you not got such a delectable sandwich.
You would not believe how good the sandwich was. I was like a man in the desert, seeing water after miles and miles of sand. I was Moses, leading my people.
Were the French fries just as good?
No, they were French fries.
Oh, that kind of ruins it.
I couldn't eat it all, T. I couldn't eat it all. I couldn't.
Was it like a big brioche bun or an onion bun or something?
It was a big, thick piece of bread, like Texas toast. It was great.
With lots of meat on it.
Lots of meat.
And cheese.
My 2 favorite things, meat and cheese. Besides ice cream.
Oh, obviously, you've been on a date with ice cream.
I have. I have.
Well,
So,
Natalie's
yeah.
now hungry. She wants one. So,
well, I make one like that, except it has, of course, the sauce with it. But
no, Kathy, we're done talking about our meals. That will be the last of it for today, I think. I mean, I could bring up a pretzel, but I didn't get much of it.
But yeah, or a pizza.
Oh yeah, let's not start on the pizza. I
But
still
yeah,
haven't forgiven little TBT about that.
no,
But I know where she gets it from now.
Where's that?
Her mother.
Why? She steal your pizza too?
Oh no, Mrs. TBT. We get to our venue. We went to Brown County Music Center in Nashville, Indiana for our concert.
Right.
And she's like, hey, we got in there. We were probably, we were the first people into the venue. So there were 4 of us. Daggone it. I had to bring up the pretzel, didn't I?
I could see that I would probably have went in line to get a pretzel.
Right. Well, I did.
Okay.
Well, actually, Mrs. TBT did. And she's like, do you want something to eat? And I was like, grab a pretzel. Because I know she likes them. She loves the pretzel. So I'm like, get your pretzel, get you a refreshing adult beverage.
With or without salt?
With.
Okay.
There's no such thing as without.
I have to scrape off the salt.
This one wasn't piled on like cheese on a pulled pork sandwich. This was just normal old salt, and you get a tub of cheese to dip
Can't beat that.
No, to dip a pretzel in. I got 3 bites.
What happened?
It was devoured by Mrs. TBT, and I had 1 piece left, that big. I reached down, I got it, got some cheese, and I was like, oh, this is enough for 2 bites. Here you go. Fully expecting her to go, take part of it. And I just stood there looking at her. And she's just looking at me, chewing and smiling. And I'm like, okay, I guess that was, I guess it wasn't my turn to have a bite. But whatever.
So
she said I was slow.
You have to eat fast when you're in the jungle.
Apparently. Because
the
if not, the cheetahs will get it.
The lioness hunts the food.
Yeah. Damn cougars.
Did you go get another pretzel?
No.
You stood your ground and pouted.
I did. I stood there like this. Just like that. So, yeah. I won't do it again. So, a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, I'll kind of a long story, but I'll shorten it. She won tickets from a radio station. Yeah, we still have those here. And she won tickets to go see this band. She comes running down to my office at work and says, oh my gosh, I just won tickets. And I was like, to who? And she told me who. And I was like, what? So I log in, I find them, I buy 2 of them. And I'm like, cool, we're going too. Same row. She was down, her and her husband were down a little bit, but we were on the end of the row, and I was like, cool, we'll go. So the 4 of us went, pull the shirt up here a little bit. So we got to see Bulletboys, Lita Ford, and Warrant. So I hadn't seen Bulletboys since probably 1989. Maybe 88, somewhere around there, when they were on tour with Winger and Cinderella.
Oh, wow.
I think this was back in the Hampton Coliseum in Hampton, Virginia. So it'd been a while since I'd seen Bulletboys. Saw Lita Ford just a few years ago, and Warrant, golly, it had been a long time. I hadn't seen Warrant probably since they still had Janie Lane, before his untimely death. So yeah, it'd been a while. So went super excited. Now one thing about Brown County is they too have preferred parking. We got there apparently before the parking attendants got there. We got there an hour before doors open.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's not out of the question.
No.
We park up front. Like we're 40 feet from the door. Here comes a parking attendant. And he's like, "How you doing, guys? This here is preferred parking." All right, cool.
And you said, "I prefer to park here."
Yeah, I was like, "We preferred," and we parked. And he's like, "It'll be $20. Huh? $20. Okay, $20 for preferred parking. Paid the $20, stayed there. No big deal.
Nice.
Watched the crowd, getting kind of worried because nobody was showing up. We're 30 minutes now away from the doors opening, and there's hardly anybody in the parking lot. And I'm immediately thinking, this is three awesome bands. These are people that, can bring it from back in the day. Whatever. So we walk up there. We're first in line to the door. I'm like, heck yeah. And you know me, I'm sporting my Weekly Pour podcast t-shirt.
As you should.
Representing. We get up to the door and we wait. 30 minutes. They open the door. You go through your metal detectors. First thing I do is I go over to the merch booth. First in line. Cool. Why not?
Nobody's there.
Yeah. Grab a couple shirts for me and the missus. And then I see concessions. That's where we go to the whole freaking pretzel ordeal. Some refreshing beverages. And we just stand there because they have only opened up the doors to the venue. Okay. They've not opened up the doors for you to go get your seats. There's still a sound check going on. I don't know who it was, but you could hear a sound check going. It's like, all right, no big deal. So we stand there and wait. Well, as we stand there, the place is filling up. So I'm like, all right, there's a bunch of people. They just decided to show up right before the first show or the first band, which I think Bulletboys went on at 7:30.
Right.
So we had a while, but plenty of time to, eat a bite of pretzel. Have some beverages, go back outside because we went outside to get away from the crowd a little bit because they have a nice little area with a bar outside that you can go to as long as you're 21. They come out and give you wristbands as you're standing in line to help speed the process up of getting your drinks and whatnot. So we had our wristbands. We walk out. There's another place to get a drink. Walk up there, and I'm sure the person we went with and Mrs. TBT probably had good 3 or 4 while we were waiting to get into the seats. So we get in, go up to our seats. Not a bad place in the house. I don't care if you're sitting at the very tip top of the balcony or if you're sitting down in front in the pit. Fantastic seats in this venue. Again, that's Brown County Music Center if you've never been.
Right, and I haven't.
Yeah. Awesome place. We get there, get our seats. We're talking to people around us. Everybody is super friendly. Everybody's chit-chatting and talking. And I just get to looking and I'm scanning it. And Mrs. TBT leans over and she goes, "Are we the youngest ones here?" And I'm looking and I'm like, nah. And I'm looking some more. And then I go, yeah, we might be.
That's so strange.
It was.
Because that's right in the wheelhouse for both of us.
Right.
I mean, Warrant was late 80s. That's right where we're at.
I know. I don't know if a bunch of them were there to see Lita Ford and remembered her from her day, with the Runaways. I don't know, but there seemed
they
to
always
be
wondered what happened to that young lady.
Right?
What happened to her?
What happened to that lady? Very eclectic crowd, age-wise. There were some teenagers there, but they were not there by themselves. They were with their mothers or their fathers or even their grandparents. So yeah, as she points out, most were our parents' age. It did seem like that.
Wow.
So yeah, it
Well,
was it was weird. Everyone
you
was
say
probably
that
looking.
because when I went to Alice Cooper the first time, I noticed that everyone there, I think, was at the very first Alice Cooper show in like 1968. They were that group was really really old, and I felt very young,
Oh sure.
very. But I wouldn't expect that at your show, where everyone there should be within our age range, yours and mine. I
And
would,
here's the thing: they may have been, but the problem was if they were, they look rough.
right? They've had a rough go, man.
Yeah, they've had a rough going. So I don't know. Um, Bullet Boys came out first,
Right?
and I tell you what, I was super impressed. Um, the last time I seen Bullet Boys, like I said earlier, was probably '88 or '89 when they were with Winger and Cinderella, and they had. I know their album was out with Smooth Up in You. I know that was out, so they didn't have a real big following back then. Right when they came out. It's been numerous years. It's been numerous band members and everything, and as we all know, as we age, voices start to go, and a lot of people just kind of stand around and sing their song, and that's it. Mark, the lead singer for Bullet Boys, got it going on. He was jamming, rocking out the guitar, dancing. I mean, I'm looking, going, is that Kip Winger down there? Because he's just doing all kinds of stuff. My Mrs. TBT said that she wanted his black sparkly pants because they were cool. But yeah, Bullet Boys put on a tremendous show, and it wasn't until I got back that night that I looked to see who all was with Bullet Boys now. And of course, Mark, the lead singer, like I said, his voice, it may have changed just a tad bit,
And he's
as
the
he's
original singer, correct?
correct. Yeah, as he's aged, but man, he was awesome. He's still hitting those high notes, because there's some in uh the what's the one that he had? Smooth Up in You. I don't lost it on
Hmm.
that one, but he there's some high parts in that. He's still hitting them. Maybe not for as long, but he's hitting them. Sounded phenomenal. Very interactive with the crowd, getting them engaged, and of course it's the opening band, so a lot of times there's missing crowd or something like that out at
Right.
merch or getting their concessions. Fantastic show. I would pay to go see Bullet Boys again tomorrow.
How long did they get?
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
And where we were, you could see the big clock on the side of the stage. So I was watching, and sure enough, 30 minutes done.
That's what I like, though, is that he can go out there, do a 30-minute show, and make it sound like it should sound.
Phenomenal.
If that's a headline show, he is 61 years old. I'm looking at,
Wow.
and he's playing 22 songs like Shinedown. That might have been a little more difficult for him. And
Sure.
he's playing Smooth Up in You at the end, I'm sure.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, that'd been rough. That's one thing I noticed about Brent Smith too. Speaking of spot on, I mentioned that he bailed maybe twice on notes,
Wow.
maybe, and that was it. So that
Well,
that was impressive. So
I
I'm
was,
glad those guys were good for you.
yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised. There's no way I thought that they weren't going to be good, but it exceeded my expectations. I was very happy with Bullet Boys. Ira Black is the guitarist. He's also played with Westfield Massacre, Metal Church, Vicious Rumors, Heathen, Lizzie Borden, Dokken. Um, very good guitar player. Um, he was there. Brad Lang was also the guitar. I'm sorry, the bassist, and he's played with Bobby Blotzer's Rat.
Hmm.
So he kicked ass as well. And then who was their drummer? I got to look that up real quick. I think it was Fred Aching, Fred Aching.
He's aching.
Yeah, he's on the Instagrams. Freaking awesome. Fantastic. And then I splurged, not on parking, but it'd been a while since I seen Warrant. So I surprised Mrs. TBT with VIP for Warrant. So we left pretty much right after Bullet Boys. We had maybe 10 minutes and we left our seats and had to go down into the venue to meet our host, if you will. Excuse me.
So that was right after Bullet Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And they're setting up for Lita Ford.
Correct.
And you head down to whatever area you have to go for this VIP.
Right.
This meet and greet with Warrant.
Correct.
Okay.
So we
and
get
you are
down
you are in your Weekly Pour shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. Representing. So we get down there and wait a few minutes, and one of the guys basically comes and gets us, and he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah." He's got envelopes with everybody's names on it. So we're saying who we were and all that. And he's like, "All right," he's passing them out. And he goes, "Okay, you guys follow me." So we follow him, and we're going into like not just the backstage area, but we have to get there. So we have to go outside the venue into another door through this hallway, seeing some of the workers from the music center. They're like, "Hey," so we're waving at them, and we wait outside this door.
Is this just you and Mrs. TBT, or a whole group of people?
There were maybe 6 total.
Okay.
Maybe let's go with 10. Let's say 10. So there were 10 total, plus there were probably 10 more that happened to be family members of like one of the techs or something like that. He brought his family down because he's from Indiana, which also Joey Allen is also from Indiana. So we get outside this door, and keep in mind, it's the 2 people we went with. They were first in line, and then there was me and the missus. So we're talking to their tour manager, just shooting the bull with him, and he's like, "All right, let me go find out what's going on." And he goes, and I can see, and I'm watching the band as they go into this room. I'm like, "Cool, we're going to be in a room where everybody can go." Excuse me, and we can, pictures, talk to them a little bit, get something signed, whatever. So we walk in, and he's like, "All right, first 2." And I'm like, "All right, that's cool." So our friend and her husband go. They go in, and we can't see in to see what's going on, but they do their thing, and they come out, and they're like, "Okay, next 2." And I'm like, "Oh, this is cool." It's not a room full of people. We walk in, and it's just the band. So we walk in. I'm going to pull this picture up. I know if you're, yeah, I have to. There's a reason. I'm going to get to that. So if you're listening to this, you obviously can't see the picture, but you can go to our Instagram or our Book of Face. I think it's on there. So left to right, first 2 on the left are members of Warrant. It's Joey Allen, Eric Turner, and then me, and then Mrs. TBT, and of course Robert Mason, who is the blonde. He is now he's the lead singer. Stephen Sweet with the cool guy ponytail, that is the drummer, and freaking Robbie Crane is on the far right of this picture. Robbie Crane is currently playing bass because Jerry Dixon is taking a break. So we roll in. The day before the show was Jerry Dixon's birthday.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm rolling in, and I'm like, going through, I'm, giving fist bumps to all of them. And for whatever reason, I get to Stephen Sweet, and I'm like, "Hey, happy belated birthday." And he's like, "It wasn't my birthday. It was his," and points over to Eric Turner. And I'm like, "It's not Eric's birthday." And he goes, "It's not mine." And I'm like, "Oh, because you're not Jerry." So there I was, my dick moment of the night. I was like, man, I'm an idiot. And then I look and I'm like, holy crap, that's Robbie Crane. But I was like, no, that's not Robbie Crane. So I go over, take a picture with everybody, the picture you just saw. And then I turn around and go back to get my laminate signed, which
Okay.
you kind of see. So I turn around and get them to sign that. And Eric Turner goes, Weekly Poor Podcast. He goes, is that yours? And I'm like, well, yes, it is, as a matter of fact. And I reach in my back pocket and I'm like, I got a sticker if you want one. And he's like, oh yeah, sure. And Joey Allen goes, did somebody say sticker? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, it's for my podcast. I said, me and a buddy do. And he's like, heck yeah, I want a sticker. He goes, we're all sticker whores. And I'm like, oh, perfect. Reach in the back pocket. I'm like, stickers for everybody. Everybody gets them. So get them.
How prepared you were. I
Oh,
like that.
it gets better.
Oh yeah.
On the back of the sticker, I had wrote on there, would love to have you on the show, TBT. So who knows? I did that in the parking lot because our friend had a Sharpie. And I was like, let me see that real quick. So I did. And yeah, I got the Sharpie, wrote on it. And then they all got a sticker. And that was that. So get done with it. The guys were super cool, super nice. A lot more matured than 1988, as
I'm
you can
sure.
imagine. I mean, so were we. Great experience. Super nice. Everybody was, down to earth, very cool. So we get done with that. We go back into the venue just in time to listen to the last two Lita Ford songs.
Man, see, the experience you just had
I
was
know.
great, but man, I would have hated to miss Lita for that.
Right.
I'm not complaining. It was, if it was me, I'd be you, and I'd be doing the same thing.
Well, the cool thing is that when we got there, the last two songs that she did, I want to say it was two, maybe we heard three. Well, no, it was three. We heard Cherry Bomb, and then she played Close My Eyes Forever.
Okay.
Which she did a duet with her guitarist, whose voice was absolutely amazing. I'm pretty sure it was his, but it's Patrick Kennison. He's the guitarist. Holy moly! Literally could have thought that it was Ozzy if you were blind and couldn't see.
So he was doing the whole Ozzy vibe then.
Oh yeah, fantastic. And then she closed with "Kiss Me Deadly," of course.
Of course.
Martin Anderson is her bassist, and freaking Bobby Rock on drums, which was a shock. I before we had went, I didn't look to see who the band members were, and I didn't even think to do that until afterwards. And then I'm texting you at the same time, and you're like, hey, Bobby Rock's on drums. I'm like, oh shit.
So for the audience, if you didn't do it, explain who these people are to you that you know of. The bass player that was taking Jerry's spot is
Martin Anderson.
Okay. For Warrant.
No. For Warrant,
right?
That was Bobby.
Okay,
I'm sorry, Robbie.
So what was the significance of him being there? What is he known for?
Who? Robbie Crane?
Right.
Robbie Crane was known for probably best known for Vince Neil.
Okay, so he was in Vince Neil's solo band.
Right. And what was the other thing? I have to look real quick, pull this back up. Rat, of course. He did, I think, 3 albums with Rat. He was with Tough, Vince Neil Band, Adler's Appetite back in 2005. And then did Sun Red Sun with Lynch Mob back in 2014. Currently with Black Star Riders, who just put out a new album, Wrong Side of Paradise, in January of this year.
So he's got an extensive resume.
Oh, absolutely. And that is a band with Ricky Warwick, Christian Martucci, and Zach St. John. Ricky Warwick is probably known more for I can't even think of his band really, but awesome. And then, like I said, with Lita Ford, when she came on, that last part we caught in order to see her do that duo or that duet with Patrick Kennison. That guy has a phenomenal voice. And then of course, like I said, drummer was Bobby Rock, and that was a shock to me. I wasn't expecting that, just since I hadn't looked to, see who was there. But it was cool.
That's cool, and it's cool that you can, make a career playing music and doing these things, and you don't have to be in one band all the time.
No.
You're not even known as an original member, but you can drop in on this and fill in on that and tour here and tour there.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool that you can do that.
Well, and then of course after that we got Warrant. Warrant sang every big song you could think of. All of them. All they played almost the entire first album.
From I'm sure.
32 Pennies, Down Boys. You got
Dirty Rock,
second album. You got Cherry Pie. Good grief! What else? Uncle Tom's Cabin, Machine Gun, which was on Dog Eat Dog.
Great song.
Harder, Louder, Faster, which is off of the latest album that they put out, maybe 2017, and that's Harder, Louder, Faster, I think. But that song, I mean, they played everything, all the ballads, Heaven, of course, and Sometimes She Cries. I can't think of any song that they didn't play that didn't at once have a little bit, if not a lot, of radio rotation. Great show.
Cool they got Dog Eat Dog in there.
Oh yeah,
that's an excellent record.
Yep. And to play Machine Gun, which was probably one of their heaviest songs that had came out,
right?
After Cherry Pie and after their debut album. So
they were in that time frame where the gate was ready to crash. They got in just in time to put out two really good records, and they can fill a show with basically just those two records.
Oh, easily.
That's pretty impressive, really. I used to not be a Warrant fan until much later. Then I realized how good Janie Lane was as a singer. Cherry Pie, the song, is not one of my favorites, and I think that's what turned me off. But if you take that one out of the equation, that band's got some killer songs.
They were digging deep off of Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinking Rich. They of course played that. But they also no.
Okay.
I don't think so. Well, they did So Damn Pretty It Should Be Against the Law.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, oh, that's awesome, because that's one of those deeper tracks off of that album. Gosh, there was Cherry Pie. There's a song that they sang that I can't remember what it was. The single Cherry Pie, when it was released, I'm trying to see real quick if I can find what the B-side was of that. And I'm not seeing it, but whatever it was, they played it. And
Mr. Rainmaker was really good.
What?
Mr. Rainmaker.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. No, this was a not so familiar song, I think. You know what? I don't remember. But man, what a good show. Again, I would pay to go see Warrant again tomorrow. If you're not familiar with the new singer, he's been with them for, I want to say 12 years. So
right,
he's really not so new anymore.
He's very good, though.
Yeah, great vocalist.
He's the one that was in. What band was he in originally?
Oh,
I want to say Black and Blue, but that's wrong.
Let's just
'Cause
look it up real quick because that's what
I
we
know
do.
that.
We're going to do this. We're going to find it.
Yeah, we are.
Southern rock band Cry of Love in
There
'96.
you go.
He replaced Stephen Pearcy in Rat in the early part of spring 2000 and played a brief gig and did a demo as well. He reunited with Lynch Mob.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. I don't
That's
know
it.
why I'm trying to read this without these on. Around the same time of the release of Revolution, Robert narrowly escaped being severely injured in a terrible motorcycle accident, causing Lynch Mob to put their tour in support of the new album on hold. In 2008, after a chance meeting at the Rocklahoma Festival, Mason was asked to join longtime friends Warrant as a replacement for Janie Lane, and he's been in the band ever since. So, I mean, he's made his name. He's put his foot down.
Right.
You know, blood, sweat, and tears for that band, and it shows. Their chemistry was on. The guitars were loud. They were fast. They don't seem to have missed a single beat. Joey Allen was playing lead for probably the majority of the show. You know, with Eric playing, you know, side, and then Stephen Sweet's vocals are insane. You know, he's sitting back there on the drum kit, but all those background high notes that
Mhm.
you hear in a Warrant song are his. And you could hear it, and it just, man, blown away. Just an absolutely fantastic show. So if you get a chance, I think Warrant's going to be out with Steelheart, and I think there's some shows with Firehouse. Go see them. Totally worth it. You know, if you want your 80s nostalgia, go get it.
And bring your kid.
Yeah, bring your kid and bring your grandkids.
Kathy mentioned a song, "Thin Disguise." Was that one that seemed familiar to you?
Yep. Actually, that was the B-side of Cherry Pie. So thank you for that one, Kathy. That was Thin Disguise. Somebody in the crowd was like, "Oh, I wonder what it is," and I said, "It's Ode to Tipper Gore." And they said, "What?" And I was like, "Just look it up." I was like, "Never mind." But yeah, totally good. So in the past week, you and I both have seen 6 bands.
Right.
Phenomenal, all of them. You know, even your screamers.
Right. Well, the 5 bands, because one I could not tell you.
Right. Well, in
anything
that
about.
case, Kathy and I have seen 6 bands total. So you're 5, our 6. Yeah, fantastic. Kathy makes a mention, so let's talk about Corey Taylor's new album. Did you listen to it yet? Nope, and I don't plan to.
It's very good. It's very
I'll
good.
take your word for it.
What is
Not a
your
Corey,
objective?
just not a
Oh,
Corey Taylor fan.
What? It's really good.
I think I'm just tired of Slipknot.
It's he does a bit of everything.
And I
on
know I
this
should totally give it a chance.
Yeah, I'll send you some stuff. But he does a Slipknot sounding song here and there. He does a Stone Sour sounding song here and there. Some things that are more him.
Right.
It's a good mixture. Both records have been that way, and he's impressive with the amount of work he puts out with Slipknot. Stone Sour, when he does that,
Absolutely.
this guy churns out product all the time, and it's all quality stuff. So
Yeah.
if you get a chance to listen to CMFT2, do it because it's excellent, or buy it.
Well, I may end up listening to it tomorrow. Kathy, no problem. I will definitely give it a chance. I think I just got tired of Slipknot, Stone Sour, Corey Taylor, and it was just on and on and on. I was
Yeah,
just,
you
getting
can
tired
get
of it.
overloaded with one person doing a lot of things. It's like, oh my gosh, slow down. That can't happen. But gosh, it's almost totally different with him because he's wearing a mask in Slipknot.
True,
and
true.
and he's growling. So yeah, it's
Yep.
really good. I think you would like it.
So, we're coming up towards the end of this week's episode, but can we go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room?
Sure.
Okay. Because I want to know what the hell's up with this beard?
What, yours?
Yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
I felt like growing a beard.
So did you get permission?
I don't need permission. What are you talking about?
You do too.
Need permission. Actually, I do. I have to,
And you got permission?
Yeah, there's a stamp of approval on this beard.
Okay. All right. I would tell you look like somebody, but I'm not gonna stroke your ego.
No.
Oh. Someone said all men need permission. I ain't saying who said that.
No, actually, my son grew a beard as well, and I'm thinking, well, hell's bells. If he can grow one, I'm going to grow one, and I'll do it better.
Exactly.
So son,
are you coloring it?
No.
Don't you lie to me.
No. I color nothing.
Okay. Me neither, obviously.
There's a little gray in here.
Where?
There's like right there. There's one there.
Oh, I saw the two. All right. Anyway, This was episode 66. We're done. It's been a while. We've talked a lot. We're going over time, but who cares? Kathy, everybody was in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. Everybody watching, everybody that listens to this after it's done. Thank you very much. Don't forget to go to all of our social medias, like, share, interact, send us emails, whatever you got. Are we going to be back next Tuesday?
As far as I know.
I think so. There's a Tuesday coming up. I know that we will not be available, or at least I won't. So we're going to have to.
We didn't even talk about that. How you almost sabotaged the show again by not having the internet.
Oh, yeah. Let's not even go there. I got it now. It doesn't matter. I mean, for all I know, this might not be working. No.
We're just talking.
Yeah. No more train wrecks. Yeah. We'll figure out about next week in a couple days. We'll either be here next Tuesday or it'll be Wednesday. I don't know. Anyway, I'm TBT. That guy's Ace. This is a Weekly Pour podcast. This was episode 66. 67 is next.